I grew up Catholic, and then when I came to Oregon State for school, I ended up actually leaving the Catholic Church, and I went to a non-denominational for a couple years, and then I traveled in Asia for a while and looked into Buddhism, just kind of church hopping and faith hopping. And my 5th year of school, I actually heard about a mission trip to Belize, kind of out of the blue. I went on this mission, and I had like a very, very strong experience of Christ and just feeling like I really needed to return to the Catholic Church. I felt like a pull in my heart to do some sort of ministry work. We all got pulled from like very different locations and all ended up together, like all 8 of us.
It was in the flower retreat that I experienced a great and personal love of God for me, and after that point I couldn't remain indifferent. We decided that it was a good chance to invest in generosity, and I always tell people when I came back that the Newman's like a boomerang. You had to come back.
I'd been raised in a Catholic family and sort of like accepted like what my parents believed to be true, but hadn't really brought it into my life in a personal way. I knew the Newman Center would be a place that I could do that. So I started last year becoming more involved in the different events that we're doing, and really like grew a lot in my faith, and that made my life just so much more enjoyable than what it had been before.
And I realized that I had fallen away from my prayer life to such an extent that I wasn't doing anything anymore. And so it must have been the grace of the Holy Spirit that put this desire to go to confession on Ash Wednesday. Father Ignacio and the missionaries from Argentina really impressed me with, one, their zeal and love for the faith. And I could see that these were truly holy people who were living the faith. The love and the joy that I found in the students here at the Newman Center, it changed my life. I wanted to know exactly what made them so happy. Have the strong desire to give to others what I have received. When I contacted the missionaries and I came up here for a short visit last year, they offered me this opportunity to be a volunteer, to work alongside with them, to reach out and work among the college students and even some of the youth at the parish.
I feel like laughing. Okay, here we go. My name is Ivan, and I'm studying to be a priest with the St. John Society. And my dream was to graduate, marry this person, and get a great job. God began to bring a lot of students to the Newman Center who were hungry. And they were hungry for hope, they were hungry for answers, for love. And that began to awaken in me a desire to serve more. And I love this college environment, and I love the conversions that we're seeing. So at the beginning of this semester, we met a student from China who was not Christian, practiced no religion whatsoever throughout his life.
And so his apartment office was locked and closed for that day, so he couldn't get into his apartment.
So he spent the night with us. And he was in the house, he had dinner with us, and as I'm walking by his room, I have this book. It was about the Blessed Sacrament. And he's like, what is the Blessed Sacrament? And so he ended up praying that night with us. And before you know it, he was coming with us every morning to pray. Now, this student has begun RCIA, the process of becoming Catholic. He's become such an incredible member of our community.
Instead, he found the source of true happiness.
And it was beautiful to see the transformations that happen at this retreat. You can just see this new life and joy in their eyes. Young adults want to give themselves to something, and they want to give themselves to something good. And one young woman started to cry, and when I asked her why she was crying, she said, I never thought that these people, they're praying for me. And she said, that's God's love for me. Like, I might not be thinking of him, but he is constantly thinking of me. It's those moments where students realize that, yes, like, God is there and God does want to be involved in their lives.
Because we were literally going out in the streets with just our water bottle, maybe not even a water bottle, and our Bible and our rosary. and meeting with the families and speaking to them about faith. And we were in a very poor neighborhood. The conversions that we witnessed and the effect that we had by like radically living out the gospel each day really transformed hearts. Going out and sharing on campus and taking students with us. And then there's also Works of Mercy that we do in the community. And it's so transforming. Like, it's amazing to see. A really cornerstone part of the Newman Center is going out and continuing to share.
What you read in the Gospels, what you meditate on, we're called to live that. We're called to live it now. It's not just something that happened 2,000 years ago.
Not only are we all really incredible friends now, but we're called together because of this mission. For me, it was hard at first to kind of give up that independence. But every time when I'm struggling now, like, I just remember why we're here.
There's a quote that says, "He who walks alone can move faster, but they who walk together can go farther." So when you're living in community, you discover so many things about yourselves. You discover gifts that you have, virtues, as well as your challenges.
That we're able to like disagree, but it's not a problem.
Community life is definitely the biggest blessing, and it's definitely the hardest thing. It's kind of like when the early Christians, how they lived in community together, and really, like, what you notice is, like, see the love that they have for each other. Also, it's an example for the other students as well. They know that we live in these communities.
I never experienced such a great joy in living together with other guys with the same purpose, with the same mission.